Harper Audio presents Amy, My Daughter by Mitch Winehouse. Read by the author and Rupert Farley.
Before we start, you'll understand if I tell you this is not the book I wanted to write. I had been working on a book about my family's history with my friend Paul Sassini and his writing partner Howard Ricklow. It was due to be published this year. I needed to write this book instead. I needed to tell you the real story of Amy's life. I'm a plain-talking guy, and I'll be telling it like it was. Amy's too short life was a roller coaster ride. I'm going to tell you all about it. Apart from being her father, I was also her friend, confidant and advisor. Not that she always took my advice, but she always heard me out. For Amy, I was the port in the storm. For me, she, along with her brother Alex, was the light of my life. I hope, through listening to this book, that you will gain a better understanding of and a new perspective on my darling daughter Amy. Thanks and a note. A huge thank you to my wife Jane for being my rock during the most difficult time of my life and for her continuing dedication and support. Alex, my son, for his love and understanding. Janice, for being a fantastic mother to our children. My sister Melody and all my wonderful family and friends. For always being there. My manager Trenton, my PA Megan, Ray and everyone at Metropolis. My agents Maggie Hanbury and Robin Strauss, and the lovely people at HarperCollins on both sides of the Atlantic. And special thanks to Paul Sassini, Howard Ricklow and Humphrey Price for helping me write this book. I am donating all of my proceeds as author from this book to the Amy Winehouse Foundation, which we, Amy's family, established to help children and young adults facing difficulty and adversity in their lives. I intend to spend the rest of my life raising money for the foundation. I believe that through her music, the foundation's work, and this book, Amy will be with us forever. This book is dedicated to my father Alec, my mother Cynthia, and my daughter Amy. They showed me that love is the most powerful force in the universe. Love transcends even death. They will live in my heart forever. Prologue. I'd like to say that the first time I cuddled my newborn baby daughter Amy on the 14th of September 1983 was a moment that will live with me always, but it wasn't nearly as straightforward as that. Some days time drags, and others the hours just fly. That day was one of those, when everything seemed to happen all at once. Unlike our son Alex, who'd been born 3.5 years earlier, our daughter came into the world quickly, popping out in something of a rush, like a cork from a bottle. She arrived in typical Amy fashion, kicking and screaming. I swear she had the loudest cry of any baby I've ever heard. I'd like to tell you that it was tuneful, but it wasn't, just loud. Amy was 4 days late, and nothing ever changed. For the whole of her life, she was always late. Amy was born at the Chase Farm Hospital in Enfield, North London, not far from where we lived in Southgate. And because the moment itself was quickly over, her family, grandparents, great-aunts, uncles and cousins soon crowded in, much as they did for almost every event in our family, good or bad, filling the spaces around Janice's bed to greet the new arrival. I'm a very emotional guy, especially when it comes to my family. And holding Amy in my arms, I thought, I'm the luckiest man in the world. I was so pleased to have a daughter. After Alex was born, we'd hoped our next child might be a girl, so he could have a sister. Janice and I had already decided what to call her. Following a Jewish tradition, we gave our children names that began with the same initial as a deceased relative. So Alex was named after my father Alec, who died when I was just 16. I thought that if we had another boy, he'd be called Ames, a jazzy kind of name. Amy, I said, thinking that didn't sound quite as jazzy. How wrong I was. So Amy Jade Winehouse, Jade after my stepfather Larry's father Jack, she became. Amy was beautiful.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?